If you've ever typed running character into an AI generator, you know what happens next. The limbs twist, the angles shift, and you end up refreshing endless variations trying to find the one output where the anatomy makes physical sense. We can bypass that text interpretation altogether. By using Nano Banana's reference inputs, we can extract the exact skeletal structure from a photograph and instruct the AI to build our character around that specific physical framework. You only need two things to execute this workflow: an open workspace in the Nano Banana platform and a single, clear photograph of a person holding the pose you want. Establishing the character's physical position is the first step of this workflow. By securing the anatomy early, we create a stable foundation that allows us to focus on the environment and lighting in the following steps. Step 1 is preparing the digital workspace. Before we touch our reference photo, we need to construct a solid text prompt to define the baseline reality of the scene. Start by entering your primary subject into the prompt box. Keep it descriptive but concise. For example, a fluffy calico cat or an astronaut in a spacesuit. Next, attach a clear action to that subject. If our astronaut is making coffee, type brewing a cup of coffee. Finally, anchor the subject in a location. Let's place our character in a sunny meadow. Cautionary: stop typing here. Do not describe the angle of the character's arms or the position of their legs. Text is too ambiguous for precise anatomy, and adding positional words will confuse the generation process later. With the subject defined, lock in the boundaries of the frame. Define your composition and canvas format by typing an instruction like 9:16 vertical poster. Then, dictate the camera and lighting details. Adding a phrase like golden hour backlighting creating long shadows dictates the cinematic quality of the final render. If you skip defining the aspect ratio, Nano Banana defaults to a square canvas. That forces the system to crop your composition, often chopping off the very limbs we are trying to control. By stacking subject, environment, and camera details, we have built a complete lit stage. Now it is time to bring in the actor. Step 2 requires our reference photo. Drag and drop your image file directly into the Nano Banana interface. Upload a photo and hit Generate Now, and the system guesses what you want. It might copy the face, clothing, or background, ruining the stage. By typing a single command, we restrict the AI to extracting only the structural skeleton, discarding the rest. Look at the system dock where your photo uploaded. The platform automatically assigns it an identifier. Verify that your photo is properly recognized and tagged as Image A. Check your text prompt one more time. If your uploaded photo shows someone sitting down, but your text prompt says running, the system will try to execute both instructions at once, resulting in a distorted, mangled character. Now, write the final explicit command into the prompt box to forge the connection. Type use Image A for the character's pose. By explicitly assigning that variable, you remove the guesswork. The system stops generating random ideas and functions purely as an obedient camera operator executing your structural commands. Step 3. With the text stage set and the image variable assigned, execute the generation sequence. Looking at this side-by-side comparison, we can evaluate the result. We can trace the angles of the shoulders, elbows, and wrists on our generated astronaut and see that they map precisely to the original photograph. Next, check the surrounding details. The astronaut is standing in the sunny meadow we requested, and the golden hour backlighting is correctly casting long shadows. However, inspecting the upper right corner reveals that the system generated a stray car parked in the middle of our meadow. Because the anatomy is completely accurate, discarding the entire generation to fix that background detail forces you to lose the exact pose we just secured. Instead, we use a direct editing instruction. Select the Modify option and type a targeted command: remove the car in the background. The system processes that instruction, isolating and deleting the vehicle while preserving the astronaut's position exactly as it was. Utilizing direct editing instructions to clean up the environment ensures you protect the initial time investment required to lock in the perfect character pose. We now have a highly detailed, photorealistic astronaut anchored in a specific environment, holding an exact physical stance. Once you establish this workflow, you can add more variables. For your next project, try uploading a second photo tagged as Image B. and command the system to use it exclusively to dictate the background environment. By systematically separating and controlling each element, the text, the pose, and the environment, you dictate exactly what appears in the final frame.